Alright, we should be live. We got a tournament here in just a few seconds, honestly. In just a minute here. And we're running back with Whishcash today. I had so much fun Thursday night. And I made one change to the list. And we're gonna see if we can repeat performance tonight. Alright, so it should be as soon as we reach 11 o'clock here, we will be ready to go for the tournament. I'm very excited because I wanted to stream and I didn't get a video up yesterday because I was a busy day yesterday. I went to a league challenge and then in the evening I had some stuff I had to do, so I wasn't able to create any content yesterday. So I'm excited to be able to stream today. I got a video that's I've almost got done making here. So I'm just very excited. I take 2 days off from streaming. I'm like ready to do it again. Like it's been such a regular part of my routine for the last week, and it's definitely a good time doing it. But here's your spoiler for today's video. I just gotta finish editing it. I got all the games, got the intro made. I just gotta edit it and make it look all pretty and stuff. So the tournament's about to start. We just any second now. Hey, Whishcash is a pretty fun one. I don't know if it's the best card, but I would say it's probably, well, saying it's top 10 isn't saying a whole lot because Obsidian Flames is a pretty weak set, but it's very fun and it's pretty good. Like we had some pretty good success with it on Thursday night, so we gotta run it back today. Still not started yet, and we're a minute past scheduled start time. This is a scam. I'm still keeping the Bouffalant in the list. Like I feel like it's a good card. I'm gonna give it one more chance today. I took out Shaymin and first Arena. That was the only change that I made from the list from Thursday night. I wanted another Gust card. I wanted another discard supporter. So Serena fits the bill pretty perfectly. Bouffalant could definitely become, it could become Shaymin, or it could become Weirdier, or it could become another draw supporter. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. It also could become Pumpkaboo. All right, round one is up. We are against Palkia, Baxcalibur, Etchin PAL with. There's no Pidgeot in here though. So this should be pretty interesting. Luxray is going to be a very solid attacker. They won't really be able to deal too efficiently with Snorlaxes. But another card that the Bouffalant could become is Radiant Arena, just because of that Lost Zone matchup, so they can't go Moonlight Shuriken into Lost Mine. So we're still definitely not. We're working on some things out here. But I think just the core of the deck is pretty good. It's just like 2 or 3 cards that could be messed around with yet. I can try, but I am not too optimistic that it'll be super good with all the bench control that's around, like especially Lost Zone Box. What specifically were you struggling with, man? Was it like a consistency thing? Was it just like getting destroyed by Lost Box and Radiant Greninja? Because it's hard to be a solo mill deck, because like with this deck we actually have an offensive win condition that our opponent has to play around. We also have that have that deck out win condition also, so there's like a bit more depth to the deck, where like a solo Whishcash deck just really has one thing that it's trying to do, and it's a lot more easy to play around. Opponent has not accepted the friend request. Tragic. Okay, this is what's weird. They checked in. I just don't know if they're like not here, or they're having issues, or Live's just acting funny. I don't really know. It's EDCGL. Oh my goodness, there's another Whishcash in this tournament. I looked, and someone literally copied my 60 from the tournament on Thursday night. That's hilarious. Oh, they cut Bouffalant. for, okay, they made a couple of changes to my list. It's not a total, okay, we have the blue dot, but we, okay, we'll check this out in between rounds. That's funny. But someone net decked my 60. Okay, come on, why is this not working? We literally have the blue dot. Alright, good. So, we'll see how we fare up against Chin Pao. Male should be pretty solid. They're not playing Pokestop. Guardy. Oh, like the... Oh, that's kind of interesting. So like use like the Shining Arcana Gardevoir to... And then we're using like Diancie to sit behind, or... I think you have like two, like you could do something like that. I use like Koraidon Gita and sit behind Diancie, and maybe you have like a couple Arcanine V's for like more of an offensive package. Ooh, this hand's rough. Okay, luckily we are getting mulligans. One mulligan. It'll be interesting to see how my opponent sets up without having... Okay, Zinnia is nice. We are going second. If we were going first, this hand would be pretty bad. I do like having Luxray in this matchup because they will probably be using Palkia at one point or another. Yeah, they get Palkia down, and they probably have... Okay, attached to active. That must be pretty good then, if they're playing it this way. Okay, they just failed the Hisuian. Conceal cards. Why don't you Shivery Chill first, buddy? Man, still draws the battle pass. Oh man. Rewarded for suboptimal sequencing. Now you Shivery Chill. So they didn't get that, they didn't prioritize Frigibax and still got there. Yeah, Blastoise from Pokemon Go could be interesting. Okay. I think we Zinnia and discard these guys. Okay, wow. Let's Aroma. Tails, we like to see that. Alright, we'll get a Lugia down. And then let's Aroma again. Heads. Okay, I'll grab the V-Star. I guess let's check to see what we have here. Thorton is prized, so we don't have the Whishcash play yet. So I'm gonna Aroma. I don't really need Lumineon now. I'll grab backup Archeops just so we don't get, like, if my opponent has the absolute nuts, they don't just knock us out and put us super far behind. And I don't want to bench anything else because then we can get knocked out by subspace as well. So we'll just chill with this. I suppose holding Lumineon could meant if they use Star Portal and leave just the one Frigibax in play, then we can just remove their only Baxcalibur. We have a very solid hand. Like, if our opponent is in the Palkia, we can just Wild Charge for the knockout. If my opponent just goes for Chin Pao, we can just go for the Lugia to take out. Oh, they're playing Melanies? I missed that. Yeah, triple Melanie in a Baxcalibur build. Wow. I guess we're only playing two Superiors. Two Superiors. And we're playing 4 regular energy retrievals. This deck is going to, like, be very vulnerable to Iono because there's no Barrel, no Pidgeot. We just hit him pretty hard with Iono in the late game. Even if we fall behind, it's going to be pretty tough for them to come back from that. And they will get on odd prizes if they want to take this Barboach. And with Barboach having 70 HP, that's 2 energies off the Hail Blade. Yeah, they are going to Hail Blade. Dang, that's pretty nice for us. I think what we're going to do, okay? They're playing Choice Belt, so I don't want to fully fill up my bench. Alright, let's promote this Lugia. Boss's orders. This is actually kind of interesting. Because I can boss knock out Frigibax. Or KO Palkia as well. But the hand is very big. So I think what I want to do is I'll get my Archeops down. Then we will come on, go Primal Turbo. And then let's get, I don't want to put double turbo on, but that, and that. If we attach double turbo, then we can't take the knockout. So then let's do this again. I'll put on Jet Energy. And honestly, the other V-Guard's probably fine. We'll keep the Therapeutic in deck. We want to attack with the Charizard. Not Charizard, Snorlax. I can't talk. We'll Swelling Flash, get Luxray on the board, and then Iono them back to just 5 cards. So we Tempest Dive for the knockout. Alright, not a whole lot to work with. I don't need to Aroma yet. Actually, I think we're fine with it, because we can Thin Nest Ball as well. Evolution means we get the other V-Star, and we can protect that guy from like a boss subspace swell. Alright, and I'll just go ahead and burn this Nest Ball. I'll go ahead and drop Gift on the other Lugia. This is okay. Because if they go back into the other Chien-Pao, I'm fine just attacking with Lugia once again. We have to take 2 prizes. Finding Thorton would be kind of cool. We found Bouffalant and Jet Energy. It's nice to find some more energy so we can just use one summoning or Primal Turbo on this Lugia. So let's see how well my opponent does. Or really said Whishcash. I feel you. I feel like Chien-Pao, like, it might just be low ladder or tournament kind of thing, so I feel like everyone sequences Chien-Pao incorrectly. It's like not even that difficult of a deck to sequence. Like, you just Shivery Chill first, like 99% of the time. Like, there are very few circumstances, like unless you're playing like an Iono or something, that you really don't want to pull his waters out of the deck. So my opponent has that Irida to get the Excalibur up and running. So Lugia is gonna get knocked out. But like the way, since they took 1 prize first, I can just Tempest Dive for the knockout on this Chien-Pao. They knock me out back with whatever. If they go for a Chien-Pao knockout, that's fine. Then we just like go like boss, wild charge, and win. So there's just 2 water energies. Oh, did Skater's Park retreat maybe? No, they just have Hailblade. Alright. I think we got this one now. That's pretty crazy. They actually went. Why wouldn't you go for Palkia? Chien-Pao players are very interesting. Alright. Don't think we'll really need. I probably could have done the reversal energy, honestly, because we should be ahead for pretty much the rest of the game here. We'll just jet into the active spots and take this knockout. And there's really not a whole lot they can do. We'll just Tempest Dive. Because even if like we just do not plan a knockout for the rest of the game, which is pretty unlikely, they're on odd. Okay, we have Serena just for the, if they don't evolve this Palkia, we can win. Like even if we don't find a knockout on the rest for the rest of this game, we still have Luxray to close it out. Melanie. I think my opponent could have a bit of a more consistent Chien-Pao list. They got a lot of, it's like they smashed the 2 different archetypes together, like the Palkia Lost City build and Excalibur. And I think you can play cards that do get a little more value than Melanie. Because like with the infinite attachment with Excalibur, I'd just rather have like Superior and Barrel and be able to do that. So my opponent does get down the Origin Form Palkia and can be able to Hailblade for the knockout. If they do that, we just take the knockout with Tempest Dive and win this game. Chien-Pao can be annoying and oppressive sometimes, JDX, but I wouldn't call it idiotic. Aren't you the guy, though, who wants Garbotoxin back? Garbotoxin in 2023. I mean, you're a Whishcash hater, though, so I don't have a lot of respect for those people. Whishcash is cracked. If they bench the Friggy, okay, we just win now. We can discuss this Palkia. They can't even take this knockout unless, yeah, they can't unless they have like Echoing Horn choice belts. They can hit for 240. Yeah. Oh, Star Portal. Okay. This person's kind of confusing me. They're just gonna hit for 240, I guess. Okay. Well, the new addition, Serena, will end up closing the game. Serena, okay, I hit the right one, and cool. We just hard carried with Luigi that game. We didn't even need the rest of the deck. All right, so we're 1-0 to start things out. Chien-Pao is kind of a, I get what you're saying. The Chien-Pao does definitely feel like a pretty low skill, and it's not a very fun deck to play against, because when it gets rolling, it's like basically impossible to slow down, it feels like. Okay, let's, well, I gotta change the color of my record here, so I think it'll be a little easier to see. Because like the white would sometimes blend in, at least with the yellow, it's always gonna stick out there. And if you guys have any other color ideas, just let me know. I'm not too particular, as long as it doesn't look totally crazy. It's all good with me. All right, so let's flip over to the actual tournament page and let's see what everyone's playing today. I need to make a new scene here, or when I go over here, my face is on this side. I think that would be a bit just a bit better for this like overall setup here. So let's get over here. Yeah, we're starting off 1-0. All right, let's see what the metagame is looking like. Charizard, Giratina, and then Chien-Pao has definitely dipped a bit, because this used to be like number 2 and number 3. But now it's all the way like basically tied for number 4, and like Guardius is like slowly creeping back up. Wait, what? 2 Sandacondas? What even is? Oops. What even is this? Are these like? Oh, it's this Sandaconda. Okay. Are they literally playing the same 60? Okay, not quite. Like 2 people independently came up with Sandaconda today. That's spicy. Torterra. So you still have some variety going on here. Hisuian, Zoroark, Goodra make an appearance. Like, man, big guy 1, 2, 3. Respect. Oh, he already dropped though. Oh no. So what he decided to do is he took out the Bouffalant and took out a Zinnia, put it in research, and put it in third boss. And I think I like the third Gust card, but I think Serena makes a lot more sense, because it also can serve as a discard supporter early on. I totally get cutting Bouffalant, and I'm still not so sure that Shaymin is it though. Like, I didn't get a whole lot of value out of it. I feel like Shaymin or Bouffalant probably gets value more often than Shaymin does, but I don't know how often either one of them gets value. But he already dropped. Tragic. Yeah. Oh, Miraidon seems very rough with the Magnezone. Pretty sick. I think Miraidon's actually pretty solid right now. I've been an outspoken Miraidon hater for a long time, but I think the deck is not too bad. Especially like I love the inclusion of Magnezone right now. At least it forced them to respect it and put down Manaphy in the early game. And Photon, like, just being able to be probably the most fast I can format outside of maybe Turbo Lost in Box, being able to be super aggressive while still having a pretty high damage ceiling is pretty cool. I would maybe like to see a Manaphy in here. I guess you'd probably go without the Flaffies into Chien-Pao. Maybe only go 1, and then if they want a Moonlight Shuriken, that's fine. I wonder how good Zapdos is. Like, what math is Zapdos fixing? I think Miraidon's not bad. I think it's it wouldn't be my first choice, but I don't think if you came and told me instead I'm gonna play Miraidon, I'd be like, okay, that's a solid pick. So let's see. I always like to look at the other category, because there's always some freaky stuff going on here. Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Have any of the others won? Oh, 2 of them have won. Okay, let's see which others have won. Okay, not this person. I always respect the people playing the weird stuff. Oh, it's Rule Lilligant one. Okay, well, that'd be pretty good against Lost Sandbox. So, and then I guess I'm kind of blocking their list a little bit. Next stream I'll get that fixed. Oh, and this is the Decidueye person from the last tournament that I did. I like this. This list is pretty cool. Oh, Justified Gloves is a pretty cool tech, because I'm not mean Decidueye can one-shot. Yeah, not quite, but gets close with the Hunting Arrow bonus tick. And with Alakazam, okay. I can kind of Then you like Decidueye go back into the Altaria. I get the strategy. I don't know if it's strong enough to want to actually be even close to a viable deck, but it seems like a lot of fun with the greeting cells. Yeah, I think this would be a pretty funny deck. I might have to give this one a try. Just for the channel, basically. So this bottom person here, Josh, playing Quackleval. Wow. Quackleval was gonna be a little bit better than it turned out to be. Really hasn't been that good though. Pretty funny. Like Mimikyu. Like I guess you just like sit back into Klefki, and Klefki's not too bad right now against all the Lost Zone box. This is pretty cool. I mean, I like to see a Sharon, and like how good is Chin-Pao? Because like you can't ever load it up in one turn. I guess you can with Energy Carnival. Okay, I guess Chin-Pao's like kind of like your finisher. Anything else is just decks that can get Radiant Greninja all in one turn. Really should never be underestimated. I guess you have to have both of these quacks to be able to do it. I don't hate it though. I think that this, well, being weak to lightning really sucks, and you're probably never fast enough. It's nice to see someone mess around with something a little bit different. Okay, so we've looked at everyone playing other. Let's see. We have Palkia, like pretty much a lot of the usual suspects. Always funny to see a Torterra though. The Torterra does gain a little bit with this new set with like Pidgeot, and has always said reversal energy. I think if you're playing reversal energy, you probably should be playing Luxray. And also, how necessary are these cards when you can play like Luxray for like the instant evolution Pokemon drop, and also be able to hit like some pretty good weaknesses right now. I mean, I don't know. I really haven't played any Torterra ever, and you probably still are never able to beat Lost in Box. Like having 190 though on a single pricer that can hit potentially like 300 damage is pretty cool. I guess like probably your win conditions Lost Box is like Torterra, Iono, League HQ, but you also kind of have to have Artisans to set up. I'm not really a big fan of heavy VIP pass in decks with no way to like if I'm going first, I'm just banking on hitting VIP pass in the opening 8. I feel like I'd rather just be like, if I'm playing Arven, which I think is fine if you're playing rare candies, I want like one VIP pass. And I can play like even something like Great Ball doesn't seem horrible in this deck when you're playing a ton of Pokemon. Okay. So what else? What other silly decks can we look at? We know the Tinkaton lost. Mark Drago, Hisuian Zoroark. B Artina. Well, that would probably be a pretty okay matchup. Let's see what this is. Great Ball, just like I was talking about a little bit ago. Bog and Path to the Peak, 6 stadiums. You're never... you always gonna win those stadium wars. Okay. I still don't think Zoroark is like ever better than Mew, but it should have a pretty nice matchup into Arceus. Kind of like unlike Mew, you're not going to be bodied by Spiritomb or Drapion, which I guess is a plus. I don't think you're not as consistent as Mew. It's not as easy to hit your big numbers as Mew, and you're probably still too weak into single prizers. Like you're never ever trading favorably with Lost Zone box. So you sort of have to hope that like Iono and Sharon is enough. You just lost it to this deck. This deck is kind of cool. Like, if you're like solely in an area that's just like playing Arceus, you're probably gonna be doing pretty well. I guess you're playing the Cleansing Glove so you can reach the Guardy. I just think like Baby Guardy. Oh, so you were the Arctina. Oh yeah, you were. Let's see. Oh man, you're playing one of my favorite decks right now. I love this build of Arctina. I think that this list is just pretty nice. Is this the one that I showed in my video? It might have been. So they're very similar. Like the 1/1 Superior is pretty clutch. I don't know if like Path and Tomb are too redundant yet. I guess it's like being able to drop Tomb forces like at least gives you like one turn against Gardevoir or be against Mew that they can't, that they're not going to be taking a big Melodious Echo knockout. Like, they're very unlikely to with only like one Fusion Strike system. I think the deck is pretty well, I think it's pretty well positioned, and people are definitely like sort of realizing it because it's like gone from a fringe pick to one of the more popular decks in format. I'm still like not a fan of Lost Tina. I think Lost Tina is an overplayed deck versus the power level of it. But like people are playing a lot of it too, and it's like about a 50-50 win rate, I guess currently. I mean, it's bodying Charizard. Interesting. What's the craziest thing people are playing? Okay. I just need to sound off on this for a second. Shaymin is like not that good. You miss your League Cup. No, fancy duck. Okay, this card, people are playing it like in mass to counter Charizard, and it's not even that good of a Zard counter. Like, it just, it can't do anything in the early game. Like, I guess you're like hoping that like Requiem is your early. Oh, what? You were a day off. That's tragic, fancy duck. Well, I'm sorry, buddy. So like, you can't use Shaymin in the early game to take out an early Zard, and I know that you're generally using Zard in the late game. Oh no. I'm sorry, that sucks. That's pretty rough. And like, especially if you're playing a gate deck. I get Shaymin if your only way to load up on one turn is Raihan. But if you're playing a gate deck, let me find it here. I think that, oops, I think this card, if I can freaking type, I think this card is a lot better. If you're playing gate, because you can do it in the early turn. Like, I guess Shaymin is more overall versatile because it can still hit for big damage in other matchups, but you're not playing Shaymin V-Star. And like, if you wanted to play this, like this is always a one shot on Charizard no matter what phase of the game it is. So if they want to Charizard early against you, because like they don't really want to be using RCs in the early game because they're not playing V-Guard to protect it from getting one shot, so it's a pretty easy 2 prizes for you to eat up. So they're probably going Charizard in the early game. So I feel like just having this Leafeon is better in Mirage Gate decks. If you're playing Raihan, I think that playing Shaymin is better, but in Mirage Gate decks, I prefer Leafeon over Shaymin. I had to get that out because I was debating it with someone yesterday. It's a very interesting argument. Let's see if anyone's playing the Archeops deck that's sort of been making the rounds lately. It looks like no one's. Okay, someone might be. There is the Poppy. Okay, this is a very cool deck right now. Yeah, this is it. Okay, you're not playing exactly the 60 that I like right now, but I like Lost City. I think that like the original list is like playing like an Artisan or a Beach Court or something. I don't necessarily hate Lake either because it like makes your math against Tina better. So I don't hate that. I think Lost City is pretty cool to be able to just like Lost in all those single, like Lost in Chilling Rain Guardy, or just like those one of Lost Blocks Pokemon. There's like the Poppy Radiant Greninja. Like once the secret's out and like everyone knows, like when you're against Archeops, you have to always have Manaphy on board because like, most of the time against Arceus decks are not dropping Manaphy. But with this deck you have to, because like whenever they have one energy on an Arceus, like one water energy and another type, they're liable to just Poppy and Moonlight Shuriken you all in one turn. So like I feel like once the secret's out and like people know that Energy Switch, Raihan, and Poppy are all ways you can pop off with the Greninja and start benching Manaphy. And like, that's a very big win condition for you against Guardy. Like between box for like the Zation in the late game and the Radiant Greninja early on, you have a reasonable time into Guardy. But if like people start benching Manaphy, I think this deck it like sort of gets pretty worse. Alright, so we still have 2 matches left. So yeah, there we go. 1-0 for now, up against Shin Pao Caliber. Okay. Isn't like Arc Mewtwo like the highest win rate deck right now? I think like if you go on decks and sort by win rate, yeah, it's one of the highest on there. This is hilarious. I don't think this deck is very good right now, but only 3 counts of it. Like versus like Miraidon, the highest win rate deck right now, 39 counts of it. Like it makes it the 11th most played deck. Tina being the 3rd most played deck and also having an over 50% win rate is pretty impressive. Like if you look, if you just sort by share, like Charizard has a pretty low win rate. I know there's a lot of bad Charizard lists right now. But I think there's also a lot of bad Chin-Pao lists, and it still has a 49% win rate. I think if you're not playing Pidgeot, you're kind of trolling. But Miraidon having the biggest win rate of like I would sort of throw out like Urshifu, we can accept that one, but I kind of throw out like Artina also with 83 is a huge, like it's a huge sample size, high win rate. I think these are some decks that may be worth venturing deeper. And also, I'm trying my best here, guys. 17th. I'm 17th, 54% win rate. I'm doing my best out here. We got to get that up a little bit. That's the goal for today. So we have 1 match to go. My voice is already dying. Yeah, only 1 round here. It's going to be a fun stream. I know it. So let's see, what's that 1 match that's left? Guardy against our RC's Pidgeot player here. Okay, I want to check the Guardy list out. Is anyone playing anything spicy in Guardy? Or is it just boring Pidgeot and Guardy? Whoa, who's doing this? I gotta find out. That's amazing. Alright, I gotta find this. I don't think you really need that. But it's Gabe Shumway. Okay. It's definitely a name I recognize. He at least used to play online a lot. I haven't really seen it a whole lot lately, but Pidgeot, I guess that like you just throw Pidgeot in every stage 2 deck and it's automatically better. I don't know if you really need the quick search though with like all the refinements you have. But it's pretty funny. This has to be a fun one to mess. Oh my goodness, has to be a fun one to mess around with. Oh man, I guess like you still it gets totally blocked by path. Like what is Pidgeot finding that's like, I guess it's basically your Forest Sealstone. Can get you boss, can get you reversals. Maybe you can play cards like Avery and stuff like that are solid and guardy but are super situational that like Pidgeot can sort of enable, but you also don't want to make guardy too inconsistent because it already can sometimes get some weird hands early on. That's pretty funny. Okay, next round is up here. We are up against an Arc Charizard with a 1/1 Pidgeot. Alright, I did not. One thing about Thursday was we did not face a whole lot of Charizard. We only faced 1. It was the first round. It was a rough draw and we ended up losing. So let's see how this matchup goes. Because like what was weird is when I was playing this deck before the tournament and after the tournament, I did get a ton of Tina and not a lot of Zard, which is weird because like Zard has been everywhere. I think it is dying down a little bit because it's not VDIF. I think that like Charizard, like some people, I don't know if they do it just for the memes or just to troll. Like people who say Charizard is a bad deck. I think that Charizard, I think that Charizard is like any new deck. There are lots of bad lists that people are like, lots of experimentation that's going on. So the win rate's going to naturally drag down. Whereas a deck like me, where we already know everything about it, basically, it's going to have a pretty high win rate. So like people, like Charizard is a solid deck. Like I don't think anyone's out here saying that it's best deck in format, nor is that really a terribly wise take. Like it's not like a format altering card like I think some people thought it would be, and I think that was definitely overestimating the card's general stats. I think it's like a solid tier 2 to tier 1.5 archetype, and that may seem low, but you can make a serious debate. There's like no S tier deck in format. Like everything pretty much has its bad matchups, and it's like sort of about calling it for the right meta. Like Lugia here, we have like pretty good matchups in the single prizers, but we like against Lost in Box, we hard lose to Duraludon, but no one is playing Duraludon right now. But like if like if this deck starts to really pop off and do well, people just start playing Dura, and this is just like kind of bad at that point. Alright, we're against Excalibur here. I'm sorry, Fancy Deck. That's really rough. So did you just like miss you got the wrong date for some reason? I don't really have anything. Like I can't like do anything about it. I'm sorry. That's yeah, especially like you had to drive all that way. Like it's not like it was like 10 minutes away. It was all the way out there. So was that oh my goodness, I cannot talk. Would that have been your first tournament this year, or do you have some CP already? Okay, we open with Snorlax. His hand's fine. Not great. Yeah, you can't really blame anyone else. Yeah, you really... I've done that before. Like, I've never driven an hour, but there's days where like, I think a limitless tournament is a certain day and I'm like all ready to do it. And it's like, oh, that was actually tomorrow. First event of the year. That would have been sick. You said you were gonna play Ice Rider, or not Ice Rider, you were gonna play Chien-Pao. Are you, as someone who plays Chien-Pao, what do you think of Pidgeot in the deck? Or is that something that you've really messed around with? Okay, my opponent is doing very well for themselves early. Okay, we just Lumineon, get that Zinnia, and fill up our hands. Let's check. Thorton is there. Okay, Bouffalant's all attacker in this matchup. Whishcash is not there. We have all the reversals. Completely busted. Alright. Because I've heard mixed opinions on Pidgeot and Chien-Pao. I personally think it's really good. I've heard though that some people are not, like, think it's like too much extra to the deck that's already sort of fragile in the early game. Okay, Mesagoza hits. Okay. We got the other arch. I prize a double Archeops. It's kind of funny. I don't really need Snorlax too badly in this matchup. So I'm just going to Ultra Ball this and this. We'll get Lugia. And yeah, we could get totally popped by this RCS if my opponent has the absolute nuts in that 3-card hand. But we just like sort of tip our hat if that's what happens, if they have the Candy Charizard switch boss in that 4-card hand. That'd be totally insane. There's a barrel. Man, it is so hot here. Oh, I don't know. Fancy Duck, you're in Texas, right? How hot is it there right now? They bumped my stadium. That's pretty annoying. It was 108 here yesterday. It was gross. And like it's not even like, oh, that's really bad. Oh, it's like so bad this year. Oh no. They're already industrious. They already have one of these Charmeleons. Yeah, I mean like Texas is usually hot though. Like not that hot, but it's usually warmer than most parts of the country at least. But yeah, like usually we're chilling up in the high 90s. And is that last card boss? I will literally scream if that's boss. Because this is Candy Zard, or is that Charizard? Starbirth. Oh no. Just drink water. Well, you can't even go outside because it literally like melts you practically. Are you? No. Oklahoma's gross. Candy's hard. Oh no. 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 Please. No. That last card boss. They discarded an Iono. Hopefully it was a draw supporter. But you always put the draw supporter before. No. Why? Oh no. He had everything. Dang it. No. I'm not from Arkansas. Okay, well, we're kind of screwed now. That was insane. I guess sort of just good job. And we don't even find Lugia. Okay. This is bad. Okay, let's Swelling Flash. I don't know, let's just collapse just so they can't drop anything else new. No, not Louisiana. You're getting farther away, actually. Yeah. Alright, hopefully they can not move this barrel and we at least can get a little time here. Man, that was pretty nasty. Industrious. Watch them just have like Bosco Lumineon on this turn. Charizard is cracked. If I do this well, oh, they just like use the thing and load up this barrel and retreat. I'm not in New Mexico. I'm not in the South. I've said before, I'm in the Midwest. New Mexico. Yeah, you... Candy Zord. Alright, well, this is just gonna get retreated. And... yeah. We're in for a pretty rough time. At least they spent some energies and they're down a Super Rod already. Yeah, we pretty much need a legendary top deck. No, not Nebraska. Nebraska's really rough. Actually, I've never been to Nebraska, but not really somewhere I need to go either. Yeah, we just lose. Alright, well. How many boss do we play? Let's just... okay, let's see. How many boss does my opponent play? 3 boss. Alright, well. We'll just wild charge. Maybe we can do something crazy next turn. Like, maybe they'll play themselves into the Whishcash loss. I was so sure we were safe. Like, I was pretty certain that just getting one Lugia down was fine. I probably should have played the Aroma regardless. But if it gets a basic, I always need Lumineon because my hand is dead. We lost some stuff. Okay. How many energies do they play? 11 fire and a double turbo. 5 fire, 6 fire. Man, they still have so many energies left. It's gonna be impossible just to Bouffalant trap them or anything like that. And we just don't even see anything else this game. So that was really bad. That's just what Lugia does sometimes, though. If you can't... I know, the regionals this year for us were not very good. Like, it's sad when, like... yeah, like Peoria... Indy, like it's not even Arlington, it's San Antonio, like farther south. It's rough. Okay, we just did Lugia things that game. That's why I hate Lugia, but this deck is funny, so we're okay playing Lugia. Yeah, I say the Midwest is okay for Salt Lake. I've been to Salt Lake City before. It's an okay place. Yeah, like some of the usual suspects for regionals did not get one this year. Yo, Fancy Doug, have you ever been to Oklahoma for Cubs? Like they are loaded there. It seems like if you go on the event locator, they have like cups every weekend. It seems like a double cup or double challenge or something. Like living in Oklahoma would be very good for your Pokemon career, or if you're very close by. It's not a place I can get to very often, but like I know Texas is next door to it, but Texas is like you could be all the way down south, and it's like basically. Oh, Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't know how like south in Texas you are, because like you can say you're in Texas, but you could be like down near Mexico. You could be yeah, Fort Worth. Oh, so you're like right near the middle then. Well, I guess relatively. DFW is not bad. How is the local scene there? Is there lots of cups and challenges in Texas? It's like it's a big state, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Okay, let's look at some. That's the pairings here. Let's see what is doing well. Man, that was a horrible game for us. That was really bad. Okay, let's just sort of take a look here. Yeah, that was an oof. Can't really do a whole lot about that. Dang, Guardy's doing bad though. Guardy doing very bad. Alright, well good job. You picked up the win. What'd you face this round? Oh, Mew? I guess Mew's probably a pretty good matchup for you if you can get the early Spiritomb. Well, congrats on that. Wow, 3 of the others won. You love to see it. So we already knew that the Toedscruel won. There's Toedscruels out here. Toedscruel? I guess okay. It's like my my brain glitch. Like Charizard fire type. It like grass beat fire. Oh wait, it's dark. Never mind. Miraidon out here, just like literally Miraidon is insane. Southeast, okay. I've been to Dallas a couple times, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, still got lots of rounds left, so let's kind of see what else did well the first round. All the RC stacks did well. Torterra taking the win the first round. What did Torterra face? Oh yeah, that seems about right. You like probably clap Charizard. That's not like okay. Wait a second. What percentage of Charizard plays Delphox? Wow, it's really dipped. I feel like it was like close to half or even more than that before. It's all. I guess I'm sort of blocking it probably, but yeah, a 0.32. That's kind of sad. Like Jacques is a more popular card. Oh dear. I am definitely not in Oregon. I'm very thankful of that. Oregon. I'm a soy boy in disguise? Oh no. Or dog soy, I don't know what you meant, but either way. Dang. You did not figure me out. I've never been to Oregon before. Phone keyboard, too overpowered. Yeah, I've never been to Oregon. It's an expensive place to fly to also. At least when you're out here, and it's like all the way across the country. The Sanacondas are 0-2, that's tragic. Oh, would it beat? Oh, RC's Mewtwo's about to just get tanked here. RC's Mewtwo was one of the highest win rate decks. It's like, are these Palkias? Let's check out Palkia here. It's just the Palkia Chien-Pao deck, not a whole lot of new stuff added to it. Furasode Girl. I guess Furasode Girl is kind of cool because you can like drop the Chien-Pao and yeet into it and then Shivery Chill. Okay, Urshifu is struggling a little bit. What are the Urshifus faced? The Urshifus. So they wow. Isn't Tina like? Oh no, you found it? Oh no. Well, you figured me out. My career's over. Or is it over or is it improved? I don't know. Aw, man. I still love this deck. It's just like, Lugia is just infuriating to play sometimes because it just bricks. You just draw Lugians, but the single strike bell is doing pretty well today. Cobalion, what does this even do? Oh, 3 more damage to dark types? That's not bad. Ooh, that's kind of a spicy card. They could fix some math in some spots. Is that better than Justified Gloves? Wait. Who's playing the Cobalion? What does this card do? So, oh, basic. I was thinking like, oh, Tina then with Cobalion and Justified Gloves. One shots Charizard. But it's only basic. So you're just like bumping your T-Tar's damage up. So T-Tar can one-shot Charizard. That's pretty interesting. Is the attack any good? Hey, that's actually not bad. Well, actually, no, wait. It's useless in Lugia. But, yeah. Darn. So we've got a lot of matches to go, so let's just... But only 11 minutes. Not really too much. Yeah, I don't know how that sort of affects your brain. Probably depends on what niche you're in. So I don't know if that helps you in Pokemon or it's bad for you, or if it really even matters at all. I don't know. It's not really something I've been acting much expertise in. Alright, well let's get into a ladder match. Let's see if we can take a win. I guess like we got to do that. Oops, that's not right. There we go. Alright. Let's see the road to RCS rank. I'm a ways away, but we can still get there. I trust. I think it's funny, like whenever I'm in a game, we get like 10 people in chat, and then when I start going over the tournament stuff, it like dips really hard. No one wants, people just want to watch me play. They don't want to hear me talk. It's fine. I respect it. Oh, I saw a little bit of that, Fancy Duck. I didn't get it. I didn't get it all of it though. I think it's. I really don't want to get political ever on this channel. How would that hurt me? Because like if I go out and say one thing on one side, the other side hates me. If I go out and say the other thing, the other side hates me. So I'm like trying to kind of like I'm not out here trying to like I'm out here playing Pokemon. I'm not here telling you like I'm not out here like if you're watching Pokemon videos, you're probably trying to escape the real world. You probably don't want to hear someone talking about that kind of stuff. That's not what we do on this channel. Nor will this ever be anything. It's never going to be any sort of politics on this channel. American politics are super cringe. So it's Giratina, Arctina with Aroma, kind of spicy. Okay, that's insane top thing. Whishcash actually is like broken, but it's prized to hit the weakness on the RCSs. But yeah, it's prized. I'm not really even on Twitter, so I don't hate that. I think it's a social media in general. People are just like so negative and hateful toward each other, for, like no other reason aside from that they don't like one person believes one thing and the other person believes the other, and they just like can't. It's not really active. It's there though. And like I just like sort of wish like that's why I kind of like Pokemon for the most part, because people can usually bury their differences and just have fun playing Pokemon cards. But yeah, I think that's the social media culture in general, that if you don't agree with someone else, it gets pretty ugly. Like there's not really too much respectfully disagreeing on Twitter. Oh, yeah, I guess it's one thing if you're pretty sure you're right. You shouldn't really care who blocks you or not. Also, you just shouldn't go out there spewing hate or just doing intentionally mean things and be like, oh no, why are people blocking me? Why am I getting backlash? When like in reality you're the one who's being not very nice. But sometimes it does feel like that, like people just like, I'm just gonna I kind of want to get out of this situation because because of it, I don't really, not really something I wanna talk about here. We're playing Lugia Whishcash. We're not trying to get super in depth on the ins and outs of modern social media. Nah, you're good, Fancy Duck. It's an interesting conversation, just not necessarily one that I think is appropriate for here. It's yeah, it's interesting. It's just it can get some people upset, and that's literally the last thing I want here. I'm just out here playing Pokemon cards. I don't care a whole lot about what you do. Not really like that, but like I'm just gonna stop talking. So Nest Ball. This is very, very awkward. Okay, we'll get down this guy, and then I think we could bench Lax, but like I guess we probably like follow up with Lax, then we research. And we don't find any stadiums, so we just lose, huh? We'll just concede this. That's why I kind of want Pumpkaboo, because of situations like this. What's up, Leonardo's? Especially like everyone playing Path to try to counter all the Charizards. I think Pumpkaboo just having that quick ball out to the stadium bump. I will not quick ball, but yeah, having more outs to stadium bump. Only 5 minutes left though, so we weren't gonna finish that game anyway. It's actually like low-key very hard to get to Arceus rank. Probably easier if I had more time, but I honestly wonder how many people get to Arceus every season. I don't think I've ever even faced someone who's been in Master Ball before. Like, in terms of on my friends list, like who's the highest on here? I might have like an Ultra Ball person on here. They probably deleted me. Oh, Corviknight here's the highest. Like that's kind of crazy. Like how much rating is Corviknight? It's 1080. I think the highest I've ever gotten was like Umbreon or Corviknight. I was like Spiritomb glitch though. That was kind of crazy. I've never gotten to Zard rank. It just takes so many games. And you like once you get up here, you're losing just as much rating as you're winning. So it's hard to really climb too much. Trying not to die here. Okay. So let's see what's going on Limitless. We have 4 minutes left. And we have 3 matches. So let's kind of check up and see what happened. What do we have left? Have a Lost Box, just your regular Turbo Lost Box up against a Palkia Chien-Pao. We have a Guardy against Guardy, but the particular Guardy won. And then we have Mew against Guardy. Guardy is kind of a slow deck. And honestly, TCGL is like kind of not a lot of fun to play either. So I can kind of get like just not wanting to like I could like sit down and like grind out like 20 games of PTCGO, and it would be all right. But live, it just feels slower. I know it is slower though. It just feels a lot worse. And maybe it's easier to grind ladder because like you were just like you just the versus ladder points. You pulled a muscle today. Tragic. Yeah, that was sort of our experience on Thursday's stream. With this deck, I'm 0-2. Again, you jumped on a trampoline. Weird. What the heck? We were 0-2 against Charizard. Like both times we've drawn really bad. Like the Whishcash package is pretty cool against Mew and Lost Box. It's just a nice combo to have in the deck in general. And honestly, Thorton is not a bad card to have in Lugia anyway. I think the list, it's not perfect yet. Oh, yeah, wasn't that last stream? I do remember that. There is actually someone playing Hisuian Zoroark in this tournament. Let's see, did they win their second round? Wow, 2-0 with Hisuian Zoroark. It's just you. Are you this one playing Hisuian Zoroark here? That's awesome. Good job. I was talking about this list earlier. It's pretty cool because you're probably not doing super great against a deck like Blossom Box, but you like have like the Iono and Cheren, so like at least you like sort of try. And you're probably very good into Arceus and Mew. So it doesn't seem all that bad, honestly. Like if it's consistent enough, it seems pretty solid. One match to go. I mean, it's always like the Path to the Peak's been working out for you, because like Path is objectively a very strong card in this format. Alakazam, yeah, that would be definitely a consideration worth having, because yeah, Lost in Box seems pretty rough. Well, that's pretty cool. Well, to see how you do, you face 2 Arceus decks for now. Arceus decks just seem like you're just gonna be way faster than them, and as long as you can like set up and hit them and like one-shot them over and over again, there's not much they can do about it. Pretty sick deck. Always like to see something a little bit different, because things do get, with all the Charizard and Giratina decks, it does get kind of repetitive. Lost Ancient Power. It's cool to see some of the decks down here doing decent. So we're gonna have our next round here shortly. Goodness, I might have just broke something. Alright. Hopefully we can do better than this last round. Like our opponent hit a totally insane turn 2, and we really didn't have a chance after they took out our only Lugia. I think we're still in a bad position though, regardless, because we didn't have any draw supporters in hand. All right, run it back with Arceus, it looks like, or Arczard. So hopefully this game goes better than the previous one. Yeah, the last one was very, very rough for us. Okay. Here we go. Hopefully our deck decides to work this time. But I've noticed that Bouffalant is very solid in the Charizard matchup, because they usually like flood their board with all their energies and tend to run their resources pretty thin. So like if you can go Iono Bouffalant in the late game, especially on like a Charizard where they can't retreat it if you lost them the energy, it can be pretty nice. But Bouffalant is definitely probably the card I'm... Expanded webcam, I'm sorry. I don't really have the stuff for that. Expand is weird because like there's like no officially sanctioned expanded stuff, so probably unless in just the name of having fun, there's not a whole lot of people who are like testing expanded for any particular reason. Honestly, I think it'd be cool if they brought expanded back. they definitely have to do some cleanup with all the crazy Helm Block and Donk and just annoying decks that make it the game unfun. But I think that they probably could have lost all 3 coin flips. So that's never good for us. Hey, at least if we go 1-2 drop. Yeah, it kind of feels that way. At least if we go 1-2 drop, I can edit this video and finish it here today. My hand's very good. Is my opponent playing like choice belt? Because like that's one thing I've really hated. I'm not playing the one a belt, which is probably correct. I just like hate when my opponent. Delphox is probably their worst starter. And it's just not a very good card in this matchup. They get the Pidgey on the board. Charizard always has Battle VIP pass. It's like literally always. I know they're playing a ton of Ball Surge cards, like 4 Ultra, a couple or 3 Artisan, 4 VIP, 3 Nest. It's just very frustrating when it's just like they always have a board full of Pokemon. Which like I'm not too upset because it makes my Zinnia stronger. It's just kind of cringe because it feels like Charizard just never bricks. I know it does sometimes. It just kind of feels that way. Oh dear, this hand is weird. It's like I don't want to keep the Luxray around to be able to chase a Pidgeot, but also like I want to be able to Ultra Ball for Archeops. Like I'd love to keep every single card in this hand. Dang, this is weird. All right, I'm just gonna say we hit energy on the other side of this. That I think is correct. Whiskash's prize for the 2nd game in a row. Or for the 3rd game in a row if you include that ladder match. We priced double Mesagoza. That's kind of silly. Alright, let's get the... Is Super Rod in there? That made me feel a lot better about dumping this. Luxray. Super Rod is there. Luxray isn't necessarily good immediately, but it can be, especially with Whiscash prize, can be a pretty okay closer. At least just good in the mid to late game. Alright. This is fine. We just read the wind. We get the other Archeops down. Burnet isn't super useful. We found Ultra Ball to get the V-Star. Things are not looking so bad. What? The broke boys who play expanded? I'm confused. Like, what do you mean algorithm? I don't know exactly what you're talking about, JDX. Are you talking about, like, my poet drawing? Because, no. When you're playing a ton of Ball Search cards, you will draw lots of Ball Search cards. Like, that is... There'll be games where you do not draw good cards, but that's for every deck. What exactly? Like, randomization are you talking about? Or something else? Aroma. Okay, if we can. Tails. Alright, we'll get the Lumineon off of this just to kind of have it chill in the hand. Expand is very expensive with like A-specs and stuff. Or like old trainers that haven't been printed in several years. That's what I'm kind of hoping with like A-specs, and it like sort of pave the way to revive expanded, is if they brought back like comp search and dowsing. There's no algorithm to like the people like I'm not trying to be rude here, JDX, but like the people who say that are usually also people who are playing inconsistent decks, and they use it as a crutch not to deck build better because the game's out to get them. And like, if there truly is an algorithm, then how come it only goes one way? It's only always your opponent and never for you. Oh, like V-Guard's useless in this matchup. There's no algorithm. Like, it's like, yes, this game is more random than IRL, because this game can achieve true randomness, unlike a human ever can. But that's just the way, like, that's because it's a program and not an actual human being. Nerd, no. What? Dude. Quit. Just stop, man. Like, what? 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 What are you even saying? Like, how does that make any sense? Why does Pokemon care if you're winning or losing or not? It's not like they're losing money if you make it to Arceus rank. Like, just build better decks. And like, naturally, if you like win 7 games, you draw 7 good hands in a row, you're like probably like, probability says you're like going to eventually draw a bad hand. Like, it's not, even if you play 30 draw supporters, there is a chance you draw 0 draw supporters in your opening hand. It's just the way probability and statistics work. Like, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, it's just like sort of foolish because you have like nothing to base this off of. And it just seems very... I'll believe when I see it, but like, people have said this for years, and my opinion has always been, it's just people who... I don't care. It's not good. I'm fairly certain that's never going to happen. It's just people who don't want to spend the time to actually deck build better, so... Alright, well, good for Magic the Gathering. Let's go and find Matt. Like, it just makes no logical sense. Like, why would they even do that? Yeah, like, how would you ever make it to Arceus rank if you couldn't possibly go on win streaks? Because, like, once you start losing as much as you're winning, if that algorithm's out there nerfing you, then you have to be pretty darn good to be able to overcome that algorithm. Just saying. Like, just deck build better. It's not really that hard. Player engagement. I feel like if there's an algorithm out to get you, that's worse for the game, because, like, then if you know eventually there's an unstoppable force that will wreck you, then why even try? That it like literally makes no sense. If you had anything like actual statistics to base this off of, cool, that'd be awesome for you. But like, but why would Pokemon not want to play people to play their game? That makes exactly 0 sense, buddy. Why would they make an algorithm in their game to intentionally defeat people so they quit? What? What are you even saying? If people know that there is some unstoppable force that will eventually prevent them from winning, why would they even try? And that's like just bad for Pokemon, because eventually people are going to quit playing their online clients, and then that's less engagement, less people buying codes, and less money. So you don't even have anything, buddy. I'm sorry. It's, oh my goodness. Thornton's actually not too bad here. I don't think we need to do it. We'll just do this. Whishcash doesn't really do anything, but we can drop the okay, we just take this knockout. Honestly, Luxray is pretty solid if we can find it. Like, what rationale do you have for the algorithm if there's like no reason for it to exist? What? Fancy deck, you are very silly. Yeah, we just take this knock. Like, if you actually come up with some concrete reason and have facts that defend your points, I'd be more receptive to it. But people have said this on forums or and been in my comment section, been in other people's comment sections and said it. I'm still waiting for them to have an actually valid reason and to have facts other than my deck stopped working after I won several games in a row, or I draw hands in real life or on TCGO that I never would on PTCGL. So then maybe that would only be the case like if you're stacking in real life and you always were getting good hands then. Alright, so I guess my game plan here is to close with the Luxray if we can get there. Luckily we do have the Gift Energy to refill our hands, so Iono isn't that big of a deal for us. But we also can just hit with Snorlax, set up a backup Snorlax, and also just have Boss be a win condition too. So we got a few things going for us here. Ultra Ball is pretty good to be able to get us to Lumineon. That was very funny. Super odd. Put a couple cards back in there. They like can't. I just don't need to load up Charizard or Delphox at this point. Bright Darkness for lots of damage, but we get the big gift pop. Hey, Boss's Orders. That's a pretty good card. Now I'd like love a Super Rod. Super Rod would make my life very good. Okay. What we do here is we don't Ultra Ball for Lumineon, because if our opponent Ionos, we don't want to draw that card ever, or we want to make sure that that card is available to be drawn. So I guess we'll just pull out Bouffalant, because it could also be situationally useful here. Okay, there's a Serena in there. Also, I guess Serena can't pull up this RDX. We see Super Rod just chilling. Okay, Bouffalant. I'll just go ahead and do that. And I guess Therapeutic is fine. And then I'll just drop the other reversal here. And then we'll hit for 160. Okay, guess what kind of sucks for us? I kind of messed up. If they gust and knock out this Snorlax, we can't take knockout. Because it'll hit 160. So hopefully I didn't scuff this by overthinking things. What else do we have that we can put on the board? Just a jet. Alright, well I could have messed this up. Let's see if my opponent sees it. We might have thrown, chat. We might have thrown. I'll just bench the Bouffalant, why not? Okay. Dang it. I think we screwed that up. Because it's definitely... I guess if they're stream sniping, they know what they have to do. They always have Pidgeot to find boss. That's what I'm really worried about here. They play 1 rope, 2 boss. And they have a switch also. So, okay, these are on both their switching cards. They still have lots of double turbos left. So, like, gusting and trying to trap. Delphox isn't super valid because they always have Pidgeot. There's just fine double turbo. There's the boss. Oh, great. Oh! We baited him by benching Bouffalant. We baited them with the Bouffalant. Let's go. Oh my goodness, that was awesome. Oh my goodness. Alright, well we win. Because if they got Snorlax, unless we like top deck, if they got Snorlax, I don't think we can possibly win. Oh my goodness, that was so funny. Alright, well we take those, I guess. Alright. Yeah. I didn't even intend for Bouffalant to be like the beta boss like that, but that's just the way it worked. That was funny. And then now we have the invisible void of a card, just got the black hole behind us. Alright, so yeah, the algorithm, you're right. The algorithm made them boss up my Bouffalant. Tragic. Oh my goodness. The algorithm. That's funny, Matt. That's a good one. Alright, let's go look on Limitless. How much time do we have until the next round here? How much time do we have? We have 13 minutes. Honestly, I didn't eat anything before coming down here, so I've not even eaten lunch yet. I might have to take a break here and get lunch, but well, I'm gonna hold on for a little bit here. I'll just start. I'm starving for you guys, chat. Just remember the sacrifices I make. Yo, with the Zoro, that's sick. What'd you face this time? You clapped another Tina. Well done. It's actually a pretty solid meta call right now because like people. All right, thanks, Matt. I appreciate you. If people are like playing the Arc Path decks to like try to counter the Charizard and the Chin Pao, and then you're just Zoroark just slapping all that stuff. That's pretty funny. I don't hate that actually. Miraidon is just insane. Miraidon. Oh my goodness. Miraidon's actually, that's funny, the only deck they've lost to is like the deck they have for weakness on. Dang, Zoro actually BDIF. The video next week will be Zoroark, the best deck that nobody plays. Or the secret BDIF that everyone forgot about. Gotta make sure it's super clickbait. That's pretty cool though. Palkia. Oh man, the Torterra though is struggling. Someone's 2-0 with another deck. Mad respect. Oh, but they lost to Charizard. Dang, I feel like kind of the whole point to play this deck. Yeah, you just like sort of. But when it is kind of a risky call because the second most played deck, like basically close to 20% of the meta game is Lost Zone. So you're going to be facing an auto loss 1 out of 5 matches. Not something I can really stomach. But also, I guess, like, if you're taking a super favorable Tina matchup, or, not Tina, but if you're doing good into Charizard, solid into Chin Pao, solid into Arceus Tina and all the Arceus builds, maybe it sort of balance out, but I feel like your Gardevoir match is probably pretty sus. Oh man, Zoro is just crazy. It's funny to see Zoan though totally dominating with it, at least so far. How many rounds? Because this is a fairly large tournament. 7 Swiss rounds in top 8 cut. All right, so we gotta win out, chat. We gotta win 3 rounds in a row. I know we can do it. Oh no, the Mewtwo deck. We want this. We need to suppress the Mewtwo win rate. Yo, that one of the Sandacondas actually won. Sandaconda actually BDIF. That's what. This deck is funny. Yeah, lost boxes. Yeah, that seems pretty miserable for you. Also, Urshifu, I know it's doing really bad today. Yeah, Sableye pretty nasty. Okay, honest question. What decks are held out of being viable meta decks because of specifically Sableye? I'd say Zorobox is probably one. But there's still also Radiant Greninja stuff, and you're kind of inconsistent. So like how relevant would it actually be? Like it would be relevant, don't get me wrong. That's why you play Zorobox alongside Arceus. I how fancy that. Get out of here. I don't think United Wings would be because you still are sort of not great into Radiant Greninja, and against the Arceus decks, you pretty much have to draw perfectly to beat those Arceus decks. And Arceus, like multiple Arceus decks that are top 10 decks right now, like yeah, you're gonna be good into Mew, you're good into Guardy. You're solid into the Palkia stuff. Excalibur kind of has to play weird. Oh, there's 2 Arcturas. Oh no. Please be 1 and 2. Yes, they dropped. Good. I did not want to face any Arctura today. I guess we can't cut Bouffalant then, chat, because it literally just won us a game. We literally cannot cut Bouffalant. Because Bouffalant is insane. Yeah, Arctura pretty much destroys Zoroark or Zoroark too. Rapid Mally? Well, Inteleon rotated. Yeah, Inteleon rotated, so like it kind of lost a lot of its support. Yeah, like would these decks be actually usable? Like they don't take an auto loss to one of the, like they don't have like a 95-0 matchup to one of the best decks. But also, are there also underlying flaws with those decks that are sort of keeping them out of the metagame, I guess, if that makes any sense at all? Because like Urshifu takes an auto loss to Lugia, and also like the list that won NIC was okay taking an auto loss to Mew. Like some people have adapted and adding in Spiritomb and Yakumo and stuff like that. Like, do those other decks have underlying flaws? I do not think Lunarock is that good. But congrats on winning five games in a row with it. That's pretty nice. The issue with oh yeah, King Bang. We back for with the Whishcash. Straight money over here. Like the issue with Lunarock is like the perennial single price issue. Lost Inbox is a huge problem, and you don't have like the damage ceiling to, like, your opponent has to be two-shotting these RCS decks, these Mew decks, and that's really tough to beat. Like it's kind of like United Wings. If you're not hitting a relevant weakness, you just have to draw perfectly, and those decks are sort of inconsistent. So it's kind of, it's definitely an uphill battle for those decks, man. Zard's win rate is pitiful today. Right, let's see how many bad cards people are playing in Charizard. Okay, Ambipom, Kindler, Vengeful Punch. I think Jacques is at least it's like at least permissible. We'll allow it. Chi-Yu, like there's some pretty cringe cards that people play. Faulkner. Okay, getting on into the pits here. I think Charizard is not as bad as his win rates. Like people who just like want to be like, Charizard's a bad deck, it's got a 40% win rate, it sucks. But then like it's the most played deck. You see like cards like that being played in it, they're like, okay, those cards are obviously suboptimal. Then you look at like a deck like here, let's go look at a deck like Miraidon has a very good win rate. Like I can't, like how many bad cards can I pick out of this graphic? Cards I'm saying like this is just strictly bad. I can't really pick any out of here. Like all these cards I think are passable. So, or if you look at a different higher win rate deck, like let's go look at Arctina. How many cards in here am I like, yeah, that card's probably not too good? Like, okay, Leafy Camel Poncho is probably not super good. I went and play Worker. Everything else I can sort of be okay with. So like when it's just like two bad cards that like one person is playing, versus like if I go on this Charizard graphic, I can probably pick like close to what was that one looking like? Let's take a peek at that one. I was gonna play it in that tournament, but I forgot I had a league challenge, so I did that. Oops. The second I fight for silver. I don't think we're on the same page here. Yo, Zorobox. Oh man, Zorobox. I miss Zorobox. Braviary. Okay, I was wondering which Wormadam it would be, because like you could play the grass Wormadam. Oh man, so like you're playing Braviary and stuff. That's, I probably still just take, I guess you're like going like Braviary, Electivire to be able to beat Lost Inbox. Seems pretty scuffed. So which one were we talking about? Okay, like there's no Zard here. I guess let's go look at like the Zards that have done well. There's like Zard doesn't have a win yet, which I could think is pretty troubling. Oh shoot! Okay, I missed that. I got you. Okay, there's Zard in the picture. I wonder why Limitless didn't grab it. Like, I wonder if it's like 3-3 arc, it like overrides it or something. Yeah, this looks fine. Like there's like not like I wouldn't personally be playing Vengeful Punch. But I guess it makes sense though, because like you put it on your Charizard and if it gets one shot by a Guardy, okay. I can sort of get I can sort of I'm okay with it. Like this list, there's not really anything outrageously bad in it. I think it looks fine. Yeah, punches for Guardy. I think that this, yeah, because like the Chilling Rain Guardy can be too big of a problem otherwise. This list seems pretty good. Like I think people like it's always like that for the newest decks. People are playing all sorts of crazy stuff in it, and then like I probably will take until after Pittsburgh, honestly, before people like really start to play. Like it wouldn't surprise me if someone goes to Pittsburgh and like top 8s or something with an optimal Charizard list, because the deck it's probably a top 5 deck in format built correctly, at least in my opinion. But it's just like any deck. Like if you put enough bad cards in any deck, it's gonna go from tier 1 to farther and farther down, because those cards just don't do enough to warrant inclusion, and sometimes even hinder you. Like there's cards that are straight up better. I guess that's my Charizard rant for the day. Oh no, for the opponent's win percentage, rip. Okay. Yeah, 151 will be nice because he gets the other Charizard EX and gets a better Charmander, right? Yeah, the 151 Zard will be pretty cool. Okay, why is my chat not working now? Okay, well, let's see here. Why specifically is it bad in best of 3? Okay. Because oh, we're against the Quackle. Oh, this should be fun. Alright, we get to face something different. That's awesome. Not just facing the same junk over and over again. Okay. Let's get into the game here then. Quackle. Just what's on record, I think Quackle might be the worst starter. I don't think Quaxly's bad, but Quackle might be the worst starter final evolution of all time. No joke. And I challenge you to come up with something worse than Quackle. Okay, we're going to reset because my opponent is not is on Intoga beats here, and it's all fine, so got to fix that. Oh, come on. Yeah, you love to see it. Rillaboom? No, Rillaboom's good. Rillaboom's like solid B tier. I don't think like I think like probably Rillaboom, Cinderace, and Inteleon are like all like B tier. Like there's not really a bad one. I definitely like Rilla. Not at all biased though, because I do have a decent finish with a Rillaboom deck. Where are you? Okay, sorry, there we go. Hate when it does the thing where it says they're offline. So we're up against Death Frog here. All right. So let's see how we do up against the Quackle deck. With the Quaxly coin, that seems very correct. I think any other coin would be suboptimal. I don't like that. That's actually a pretty good looking coin. The gold Quaxly. Quaxly's probably my favorite basic starter from the Scarlet Violet games. But Skeledirge is probably the best final evolution. That's why I took Fuecoco. Because like Fuecoco isn't bad. But it's not, it's like Quaxly is one of the best water starters. 2 mulligans. Quackball. If Charizard was a fire type, maybe we'd actually see some Quackball. The Mesagoza. Oh, opening the Chin PAL. That's kind of nice for them. All right, we have Aroma. Let's see what Mesa. No, let's do the unknown first. Let's do that. Get this out of the way. Tails. I'm definitely grabbing Lumineon then. Wait, are they playing Path? Do I need to be concerned about getting Path turn 1? Let's Mesagoza. If this hits Archeops. Oh, it did. Let's go. I didn't check. All right, we have Whishcash in there. Luxray is going to be essentially very meaningful attacker. But we should be getting the lead in this matchup, especially going first. Okay. All right, I just want to see if they're playing Path, because if they are, I'm going to drop this Lumineon. They're just playing Artisan and Beach Court, so I'll just check the Therapeutic on there and pass. So we're in an okay spot to be able to summon our stars next turn. We have we can just grab Zinnia. And they ideally for them, they're loading up their bench, so we can Zinnia and get quite a few cards and take 2 prizes off this Chin PAL. Get to see that Quaxly hit the board. Mesagoza. Honestly, okay, Tails. Mesagoza is such a busted card. Always hits heads for them, or for me, and never heads for them. I'll tell you how the opposite it usually is, but we're okay with it. Attached to the Quaxly. Alright, there's Beach Court. And pass. So only 1 Quaxly down. It's like really, honestly, Zinnia's not that good. Zinnia's only getting us 2 cards, but it's still better than Burnet. Because like Burnet is prized anyway. And it's getting us 0 cards. So they're accomplishing basically the same thing though. Alright. So I'm just going to Summoning Star, and then we'll throw the V-Guard on the active. Honestly, 3rd Gift would be a nice inclusion for this deck. It's just a pretty good card all around. How about all the gifts are just prized? That's kind of cool. I don't think we'll be needing Reversal Energy as a attacking option. Like, hopefully we don't need it, because we're going up to 2 prizes early. Like, using Whishcash is probably not going to be. Yeah, we are going to be getting off to an early lead, but Luxray could be a great closer if they, like, if we can't find somebody to knock out, we could like fall behind due to an Iono. But yeah, with only one Quaxly on the board. We don't have boss anymore, but they're just pretty far behind. Like, this is the uphill battle that these evolving single prize or these evolving decks have to face right now. There's not a whole lot of margin for error. Okay, well, they're finding all their Quaxlys now. Also, opening with the Chin PAL feels very bad. Okay, left key is very annoying because I cannot Lumineon this turn, but I can just take the prize. It's not that big of a deal, and we bump the art. Oh, boss. I don't think we care. I think we just like art for Snorlax. And then we just, well, Primal Turbo, we'll put the Therapeutic. We'll put Therapeutic, no, with Gifts. Oh my goodness, deck. Please calm down. I swear, like, I'm trying to like swipe through my cards in my deck and TCGL just says no. So we'll get the Lugia. So like the argument to using Lugia is we can Tempest Dive and bump the stadium, but Snorlax makes it so we don't get hit into with the, like, we can keep this Lugia clean, which I think what we want to be doing here. So Thumping Snore for the knockout, because I don't really need, like, this Artisan isn't really gonna be doing too much for them. They can find another Klefki, but if they're just chilling behind Klefki for another turn, we'll probably be too far ahead at that point. So they're gonna bring up another Quaxly. They find the fourth Quaxly off the top. So probably getting them no Klefki or anything like that. Energy retrieval to the bench guy. And just a reckless charge, yeah. Man, we'd love to see this deck actually do what it's supposed to do. Unfortunately, not this time. So let's go ahead and get down the other Snorlax. Then I can use a Collapsed Stadium to discard Lumineon. And yeah, now we're like, it's gonna be very... My opponent's gonna need to have some pretty sick plays to be able to come back into this one. I think we can just do... I'll keep like one reverse energy round just in my back pocket, just in case. But I don't really... I'll just drop them all in the Snorlaxes. Play the Burnet, just thin some things out. We won't be needing Archeops. And we won't be needing Barboach in all likelihood. It should be Matt, unless something very funky happens. We should be heading up to 3-1. Oh, I forgot to fix it after last round. You're right. I didn't realize that. I'll get that fixed. Gotta update it. After that crazy game against... Hit select, what the heck? After that kind of crazy game against Charizard, where they could have beat me, but they gussed up the Bouffalant instead. Alright. Yeah, we should have him here. Like, even if the Quackaball takes his knockout, we don't really care. Why did my opponent just disconnected? That'd be kind of funny. Nope, they didn't. So there's Nest Ball, the Brady Greninja, and an Energy Retrieval. Why are they playing so many Energy Retrievals? Seems kind of... I don't know why you'd be really doing that. I guess for the other Quackaball. Seems kind of unnecessary though. I guess with other Greninja synergy. Can they do anything at all? Boss's orders just to try to get me to burn an energy. And reckless charge. Well, alright, we just found the jet energy, so we'll just jet into this guy. And then I'll just take the knockout with... I guess we'll thin. We'll sequence things and play things correctly just in case. Let's grab... I guess Luxray is going to be useless at this point because we'll be down to one prize. So we'll never be able to use Swirling Flash to put it down. But either way, let's just load up the board. We'll grab Lumineon in case we need it. We'll just hold the boss's orders in case they can get into the big Quackaball. They need a pretty nice top deck to be able to do that. But I would love to see the Quackaball deck actually work and be able to do what it wants to do. But yeah, that's kind of the pitfall a lot of these stage 2 decks run into, is that they don't really have... They have to play... Like, they're naturally kind of slow and inconsistent. That was a nice top deck. They're naturally slow and inconsistent, so they have pretty much no margin for error. So even missing a couple turns is bad, but it's like even worse when your opponent is taking 5 prizes by the time you've taken 1. Or by the time you haven't taken 0 yet. There's like conceal cards. I wonder why they didn't opt to go for an Iono, because they know I have Lumineon in hand, which gets me boss, which wins me the game. So I know it's getting you one less card, but I feel like you kind of have to make that play. I guess Gift Energy sort of mitigates all you lost today. Alright, we'll be 3-1 right here. Let's fix the record. I forgot to update it after last round. There we go, 3-1. Alright, well, we have quite a bit of time before the next round, I think. Let's see. Let's see. We have 18 minutes, so I'm gonna go and grab a quick snack because I've not eaten lunch yet, and it's kind of late for that. But I'm gonna get some lunch, refill my water, and I'll be right back in just a moment, guys. So please stick around. That's what to eat. So we're ready to win out here and take this tournament down. So let's get back over to Limitless and let's see what's up. 5 matches left, so luckily these rounds are going kind of quicker. Let's see. Zoroark still highest win rate deck. Let's see. 3-1. Finally hit that Lost Zone deck. Miraidon still up there. RC is still up there. So are most of these are okay? That's RC's Pidgeot. Alright, this is an RC's Charizard deck. Let's sort of see what this deck has going on here. So this is sort of similar to what we saw earlier. We see a worker and a path to the peak. And so like we saw a vacuum in the previous list, a bit thicker of an Arceus line. There's no double turbos though. Yeah, we saw that. The Giratina matchup seems pretty rough for the Miraidon deck. Not for the Miraidon, but for the Zoroark deck. I at least like one double turbo, because like if you whiff Charmander on the first turn, Path locked against Tina. Like if you whiff a Charmander on the first turn, you literally cannot play Pokemon. Like at least one double turbo, so you could at least do some damage with Trinity Nova would be very, I think, very good for this deck. Yeah. But generally I think that this looks pretty fine. There's not really a whole lot I have to complain about it, and it's doing quite well today. What else? So the Miraidons, so a couple, is it 3-1 now? I think Miraidon is probably a little bit rough into Turbo Lost Zone. I think you're probably fine into Giratina. You're probably still okay into Turbo. This is probably whoever takes the first 2 prize knockout. So, and on the lower end of the win rate, lots of 1-of decks that really aren't super, like Charizard and Gardevoir struggling a lot, which is interesting because like Gardevoir has a good score against Charizard. It is losing to a lot of the other stuff. So you'd think that if like Gardevoir was doing bad, it's because Charizard was beating it up. Oh, they were. Oh, I just realized I still have my text on screen. I am back. I don't need this right here. Sorry about that, guys. I was just too busy over here. Okay. Like, it's very interesting to see both these decks doing not so good. What was Gardevoir's limitless win rate in Paldea Evolved? If we go over that, please go away. Add Paldea Evolved, Gardevoir. Gardevoir did have a lower win rate, which is going to happen when you're the most played deck in format. So like if we compare these win rates to last from our win rate, like Art Coco is kind of an outlier because it's very low played. But like Miraidon, like these things will even out because like they're still very like 1,000 of a certain count is like kind of crazy. Like we're not even close to that now. So there's like some similar pieces like Arceus, Giratina, LZ, Palkia, all very high win rates in this format. And they're doing well in this current format. So Guardian, but like the most played deck, like if we just go and like look at like a lot of the previous formats, what is the usual win rate for the most played deck? See 45 here, 47 here, 48. Lugia's sort of an outlier because it was like far and away the best second format, but still it's only 51, and it was very, I think, a very strong deck. Tina only 51%. So you kind of see here that like I guess it's sort of tied with Lost Zone. They're very similar. And so the most played deck is very rarely the highest win rate deck. Like yes, there are some high usage rate decks that are very high up near the top, but usually like yeah, okay. Well, I guess 51% is pretty darn good. It's still up there. Like what if we do that for Lugia? Like Lugia hits 51%. Destroy the ad. Like if we do win rate, Lugia is still near the top. Interesting. Because there are most of these, there are some like lower count decks that just go to the top because people hardly really played those decks. It's like sort of a I feel like that could be a video topic in and of itself. It's like exploring the most popular decks from previous formats, like sort of see, like sort of see how that, like what that means for Charizard. And it'd be cool if Limitless had this feature where like if I could like go back and like what was Chin Pao's win rates after 2 weeks of how they evolved being out? Is it equivalent to like the 48% we're seeing with Charizard? I guess Charizard's 45 and is yet to have a tournament win, which is kind of, I guess it has like a 1. It has a first out of 5, which is kind of weak, but yeah, not a huge showing in a big tournament, which is kind of, does not look great on the deck's resume, like when you're in terms of like talk, but like also there was that one Arceus deck that did really well. That's like technically a Charizard deck, but it's just bundled under the wrong thing. So like, yeah, this is technically a Charizard deck here. And is it? I know James was playing. What's up, Robin? Yeah, I've been live for basically 2 hours now. We're 3-1. It says on screen right below my beautiful face. So yeah, we're playing the Lugia Whishcash today. It's always a good time playing Whishcash. You're 3-1. Oh, I think I saw you on here earlier. Is this you here? All right, we're up against Gardevoir. Okay, this should be pretty cool because Whishcash should be a nice player. A Snorlax should be pretty good. All right, so you're on the you're playing the Arceus Pidgeot. That deck is very cool. It's one I do want to experiment with eventually here, but all right, I'm on the Lugia, the colorless Lugia train. I don't want to take too close of a look at my opponent's list to see if they had any sort of crazy cards in their deck. Hopefully, like they're not playing Sinnoh. Oh, no problem, Robin. No problem. I totally understand that. So there's no temple. There's just collapsed and I'm gonna scoot up here. I'm like sort of a ways away. Man, metal chair. I need to upgrade the chair here. The metal chair. I'm gonna need back replacement when I'm like 25 at this rate. So my opponent has not got my friend request. They have checked in. There's really not a whole lot of craziness on my opponent's list. I think this is towards 60 from Worlds. This is the Forest Seal, the Mirage Step, the Lumineon, the Double Reversal. So I think this is towards less. So my opponent sent the battle. I'm just not. So we gotta wait for that to resolve itself. Let's see if we do that, and that did not work. Let's try this. I don't want to relog in. It's just like, why does this not work? Because like they obviously sent it, or somebody sent something here. They don't know how to fix this glitch. It's really, really silly. Oh, we can go to challenge later. Well, that'd be a nice fancy deck. Not quite as good as a cup, but still would be some sort of CP and maybe some prize packs or something. Okay, come on. Why? I don't want to relog, but this is like so stupid. Like it's lit up blue like it should be there, and it's not. Okay, I'm gonna give you one more chance live. Oh, okay. Wow, I just had to threaten it. Threatening always works, right? No, but okay, let's see. Can we move up to 4-1? I did not hit a single Guardy with this deck before. So this will be interesting. Whishcash will be very cool because Guardy always is just like running right through their cards. But they also can just choose not to refinement if they know that it's coming. Snorlax is definitely a very annoying Pokemon for them to get around. Like we can match their single price. Just the issue with my particular list is like if they go for that like late game Iono plus Gardevoir. Yeah, 'cause I don't have like something that can one-shot. I don't have a Drapion or a Weirdeer. So this will be interesting to figure out at least. That would have been an amazing hand. Like replace the Super with a Lugia V. Hey, we're chilling, but oh my goodness. 3 mulligans? Barboach. You're not exactly the Pokemon I wanted to see. So we need Aroma to give us that basic. Because, like, if this plays out well, like basic and then Mesagoza hits. That's Aroma. Please, Aroma. Be nice. Aroma's not being nice. I just get Lugia V-Star. So then this time I Lugia V, I can swing next turn. Mesagoza, please. Heads. So I got the flips mixed up there. This was supposed to be tails, and this was supposed to be heads. My coin got confused. Okay. Well, I'll just slap that on that. And we pass. Luckily, Gardevoir is not exactly blazing out the gates where I could threaten this one Barboach. I just hate coin flip cards. They always ruin me. Oh man, not gonna try to Mesagoza before the Greninja? Coin flip cards make me so mad sometimes. Good. Luckily, Mesagoza is being equally as helpful to my opponent. It's always the worst when your Mesagoza doesn't want to do anything. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of sauce in that one hand. Double Iono, Boss, Forest Seal, Reversal in the Little Guardy. They don't even, okay, they do play PAL Pad. I was gonna say, poor Ralts though. Are you kidding me? I was gonna say, oh, benching Zacian early. Okay, well that could be good for us. If we can get to it first. I guess this means they are being proactive. Like they do have Storm Slash next turn if they want it. But it'll be hard for them to take a knock on me, especially with only one more boss's orders. Okay, Mesagoza. If this hits heads, I'm playing Burnet, attaching Gift and passing. Okay. We'll do that then. I'm still... What would they need to have in hand? Their hand would need to be Gardevoir, Candy, and then they would need to like conceal cards into like energy or something ridiculous like that. They would need to have the absolute nuts in that hand there. So we'll Burnet out double Archeops. If they want to check out my Barboach, I'm totally okay with that. I should have checked for all the Thorton stuff. I'll just pass. I don't want to read the wind and risk getting my Zacian, or not my Zacian, but my Lugia knocked out by Zacian, because it's definitely plausible, well not plausible, but possible that they can take this knockout. Tails on the Mesagoza. Thank you, Mesagoza. You are, as a refinement, Curlia, the Psychic. So they don't attach to active, so they're not ever able to attack this turn then. They, ooh. That's, what's correct there? Is ever the right play to just to conceal cards that Psychic and try to find a Guardy to Candy? So my opponent's not attacking this turn. I'm just going to Serena and knock out their Zacian and beat 2 prizes up. And they're already down for a seal. It's definitely possible that my Lugia would get knocked out going back into my turn. But they only have one reversal. They're down their other Guardy. I think it's interesting that they, like, if they attach to active, I guess they want this Zacian to take more than one prize. They kind of, is 4 Ralts too many? It's probably too many if you're bench Zacian, because, like, Cresselia would be very good here. And you don't really want to use the Shining Arcana Gardevoir to take a knockout. I guess using Gardevoir EX would be pretty cool here, because you, like, looking at my list, you know it's always tanking a hit. Roar the Sword, probably going to drop another one on the Zacian. Okay, putting one on the Curlia, actually. Okay, let's Aroma first to see what that finds us. Hopefully a basic and evolution. So we'll just grab another Lugia V-Star. Or actually, we just grab Whishcash. We retreat in Whishcash. That's totally fine. It gets it out of Cresselia range. So Mesagoza, I would love to find a Snorlax to put on the board. Once again, coin flips got mixed up. My coin needs to straighten itself out here. It's not helping us. We'll get the double Archeops down. Gift Energy is definitely going to be our friend here because our hand will be pretty depleted. I'll put the V-Guard on. Oh, I already have gift on. I was like, I just prized like all my gifts, but no. Alright, we'll do that and that. And then we'll make sure we hard retreat first, because if we evolve first, then we'll be stuck. I think we just grab the other V-Guard. This is just fine. I want to keep the other jet around and all the other energies in deck. I think we can just do double V-Guard, no problem. I'll go ahead and evolve the Whishcash just so it's out of Cresselia range. We'll make sure we hit the bottom effect of Serena, and then we'll just knock my own Mesagoza. Actually, do we even care about Mesagoza? Wait, whoa, I just realized something. 12 cards in deck already. Okay, buddy. Honestly, I keep Mesagoza. They're always gonna have access to their own Pokemon. Maybe the play would have been to just knock out Greninja and just like bait them into letting us reversal Whiscash for the game. That could have been funny. This is still fine though. So we have to imagine, with the amount of cards my opponent has access to, this Lugia is probably getting knocked out. There's the Arcana Gardevoir. There's the Gardevoir EX. So they can put 6 on there, which will be 8, which will be enough to take the knockout. Okay, that will make things interesting. Because, like, I'm gonna be tied on prizes, so like we can't Whiscash for the game. I'll probably promote Archeops and place Zinnia. Yes, this is gonna take a big knockout on my Lugia. Mesagoza. I'm afraid though, if I just take a turn off and just be like, okay, I want to get behind for Whiscash, then they just gust the Whiscash, and then that's kind of bad for us. We still have Super Rod around, but our deck is massive, so actually finding the Super Rod is going to be hard. The Arcana onto the Curlia. That's a lot of their energies, honestly, just going PAL pad, so they'll be able to chuck back into Boston and Iono. It's a very interesting game considering like all the resources my opponent has spent already. Okay, we find an Aroma, which hopefully is something. Okay. I'm running Archeops because at the very worst we just like Speedwing. Okay. Capturing Aroma is pretty good. It doesn't want to cooperate though, it keeps giving me the wrong results. Okay, please Mesagoza, I would like Snorlax. I'd like ads, please. Once again, alright, I need a Mesagoza first, and then... Alright, let's please help me out, deck. Alright, there's Snorlax, we drew a couple reversals. Alright, this is okay. I will put Jet. Oh, here, we'll put the Therapeutic in a double tear, but we'll keep the Jets just chilling. And we'll hard retreat a Therapeutic. Take the knockout. Would be awesome to have a gift in deck, because now if we get Iono'd, we're not going to be looking super good hand-wise. Honestly, I think dropping Bouffalant. No, they always go Big Guardy here. Is Bouffalant ever fine? Like, I think just having the basic on the board isn't necessarily a bad thing. If they do want to match me single prizer for single prizer, we can go into the Bouffalant, no problem. Because they're probably going to be playing Iono next turn. So we have to take a prize. So we can Ultra Ball next turn, thin this stuff out, get a Lumineon. Benching Whiskash early is sort of bad, honestly. Yeah, Big Guardy. This is where if we had Drapion, we'd be in such a solid position. I guess if they're playing, they go the boss route to take out Whishcash. They're not playing Iono in that same turn. So chuck back in a few cards, get back both those Gardevoirs, but they did not put back in Zacian, interestingly enough. Does this mean that we can like Thorton into the big Lugia? If we had like we had some cleansing gloves to take this knockout, that'd be pretty nice. Iono. Sort of what we were afraid of. We found the Lumineon. Alright, attached to the Guardy. Arcana, so Mesagoza doesn't want to help them. What I'm really worried about is they can like Iono themselves out of Whishcash range. Kind of frustrating. So how do we want to play this turn? I'm trying to think of like what is the best route, because we can just load up another Guardy for a big knockout. But is that okay? Okay, I think what we want to do then. Boss is good. Okay, let's Mesagoza. No, right with 4 path. That's new. Mesagoza is literally useless. Alright, let's Nest Ball. I just kind of want to check things out. Thorton is in there. What about the energy situation? I don't want to attack. Okay, no, yeah, we can just do Jet. We can just do all those 4. Okay. Okay. So, then what I'm going to do this turn is I'm going to Thorton this guy into Lugia. And if they want to go for a big knockout, that's fine, because then I just Whishcash for game. And they want to hit me again, then that's okay too. I'm not taking a prize, but I'm also still putting pressure on them. So it's okay. So we Thornton. Let's get the Lugia out. We evolve. Then we can go double turbo in both jets. And all we have is all the reversals. And we do have a gift that's prized. And I didn't put Zacian back in there. They just would have the Guardy. That goes crazy, thank you. Oh man, this game's so close. I'm kind of nervous. I guess worst case scenario, the way that this play backfires is if my opponent can Iono themselves out of Whishcash range. I want Mesagoza down so I can find Lumineon potentially. If they can Iono themselves out of Whiscash range and also one-shot my Lugia V-STAR, that would be how this play backfires. Hard retreat, or even a super rod puts them out of Whishcash range. Boss's orders, up the Whishcash. Okay. Huh. Now this is kind of spicy. They wanted Whishcash. Let's see how they use these. Embrace. Okay, that's all 10 of their psychic. No, they have 1 psychic left. Oh, having Lumineon on board is actually so terrible. Oh, they have their own Lumineon left too. Brainwave for 150. They have 1. Oh, I guess if I take. They have no psychics left. Okay, the play has to be then. Promote this guy, take this. And then the 1 prize reversal is game. Oh my goodness, this is actually ridiculous. I had collapsed off my Lumineon, and that would be awesome. I don't think I can draw enough cards to realistically pull that off. I can Iono them to 2, take this knockout. And I lose to them finding Lumineon at that point. Or I can just take this knockout and hope that they don't have that reversal energy to kick, I guess. Because all their psychic energies just have 1 reversal left somewhere, 1 boss's orders somewhere. got some Mesagoza and grab you. Dang it. This is such a weird situation. Also, I can Speed Wing and take the knockout on this guy, but that really doesn't matter because... Wait. I think I win this, actually. I hit this Guardy for 120. And they just have the reversal left to hard retreat it, which won't be active. They'll have to Super Rod back in energies. And then, come on, let me play boss. Then we pivot after that. We switch our game plan up. We Speed Wing, and this thing is stuck, and they only have a few turns left to be able to win this game. It's also like energies, one reversal, and if they want to play a Rod and chuck back in energies, alright, fine. Because then I'm gonna Iono you to 1, or to 2. Alright, Mesagoza. How many rods is that? They played 2, and we've seen 1. There's Cresselia's getting ripped out of the deck. Ultra Ball. They're just cutting cards. Like, that's kind of interesting. There's no way that they win the game this turn. They're just thinning, I guess. Getting the Guard EX. Playing Super Rod. Oh, shoot! I forgot about Arcana touching energies. Oh, I did not think that through. Oh, no. Yep, that's probably game, right? They have boss. Oh, dang it. I did not think that through. I thought that that was just it. Oh, man. They have Lumineon on him for boss. I should have just taken this knockout and just... I overthought that. Dang it. Dang it. Actually, was it... Well, no. Man. Misplayed that one. I still don't... We were just a turn slow in the early game. And the opening Whishcash was bad because we had... It was harder for us to... Opening Whishcash was bad because it was harder for us to get to that play in the late game. We had to keep it on the board. I think the Thorton play is still right, though. Because we can actually put pressure on them. Dang, that was tough. Well, 3-2 now, so I think we're technically eliminated. Contention now. Ah, that was a good game. It was close, but I messed it up for sure. So there's no guarantee that the other line of play I could have taken would have actually mattered. That's frustrating to lose like that. I gave myself basically no chance the way I played it. The only way, like, if their Super Bowl was prized, that way is I win the game that way. But that's the only route where that plays better. That PDCGL timer is too aggressive. Okay, well, I think what I'm gonna do now. Let's just kind of see. Can we make top cut with this record? I'm gonna say probably not. And my opponent's win percentage is pretty garbage, right? Yeah, it's below 40%. So I'm gonna call it a stream here, guys. Thank you for everyone who showed up. I'm gonna work on editing a video for this evening. It didn't go quite as well as we hoped, but we definitely have some things that we can improve on, and we will just get back at it tomorrow or the next day that there's a tournament. So thank you guys for showing up. If you want to subscribe on the way out and help me get closer to 900, I'd greatly appreciate you. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your day.